CABE values the partnerships that we are able to establish with the Mexicans abroad, with the government of Mexico, and today, particularly with the Instituto de Mexicanos en el Exterior, and all the organizations that are part of the Instituto de Mexicanos en el Exterior. Here to make a special presentation of the Othli Award, we want to welcome la Directora General del IME, Eunice Rendón Cárdenas, accompanied by el Cónsul General de México en San Francisco, Andrés Isaac Romer. Directora Eunice Rendón Cárdenas, por favor, bienvenida y el micrófono es suyo.
Thank you very much to CABE and also to all of you, professors, and also families and parents who are here. For me, it's an honor to be here. I'm very happy to be here in such an enthusiastic and special event as CABE 2016. And muy buenas noches a todos. I would like also to recognize the participation of the Ministry of Education, John King, Secretary of Education, of the Superintendent of California, of Richard Carranza, also from San Francisco, Superintendent who has a very nice voice, and also to all the CABE authorities and our Consul, Andrés Romer, who is our representative here in San Francisco. And on behalf of Enrique Peña Nieto, President of Mexico, and Claudia Ruiz Massieu, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mexico, I'm honored to be here representing the Mexican government in this important gathering of the Hispanic community. California Association for Bilingual Education, CABE, annual convention has become a great opportunity to exchange ideas and discuss initiatives that empower our communities. CABE provides important opportunities for training and for the professional development for bilingual educators. Furthermore, CABE has become an advocate for bilingual professionals who have made extraordinary contributions to improving education and understanding in every field. So today, we proudly recognize a leading voice of our bilingual effort, Mr. Carlos García. Carlos García began his tenure as superintendent in 2007. Under his leadership, the district with 1,005 schools sites plus 34 preschool sites and 9 charter schools experienced consistent improvements, including increased academic gains for Latino students, and led the way for policies aimed at graduating all students with bilingual skills to be admitted to the University of California system. Carlos García has also been Vice President of Urban Advisory Resources for McGraw-Hill Education, and led several large urban school districts, including California's Fresno Unified School District and the Clark County School District in Nevada. During Garcia's tenure, this district was the 5th largest and fastest growing school district in the nation, averaging one new school opening per month, which is very good. No? García used to teach at Rowland Unified School District in La Puente and in Chaffee Joint Union High School District in Ontario, and served as principal for schools in the Pajaro Valley Unified School District and Horace Mann Middle School. During his time at Horace Mann, the school was designated a California Distinguished School by the Californian Department of Education. Carlos García has always been, and we trust he will remain, a passionate leader committed to the success of students and a supporter of CABE's vision for biliteracy, educational equity, and success. My friends of CABE, the current debate on immigration posed an important challenge for our communities. Educators play an important role in this debate. You have the opportunity to impact the practice, policies, and decisions. Building walls is not the answer and never will be. Education is the most powerful way to build bridges. So, the government of Mexico will continue to use all available resources to defend the fundamental rights of Mexicans in the United States and assist and accompany their integration into their host country. For this purpose, we will keep working hand in hand with organizations such as CABE and its members, who are striving to empower our communities by making inroads and facilitating political and social participation. For this, in the meaning of Othli, in the Nahuatl language, a path. And through leaders such as Carlos García, have walked this path and opened the way for the empowerment of Mexican immigrants in this great country. Therefore, on behalf of the government of Mexico, I will now have the honor of bestowing the Othli Award upon Mr. Carlos García. Felicitaciones.
Muchísimas gracias. So thank you very much. This is quite an honor. I mean, not so bad for a guy who grew up in LA. I have to share this story because there's when I once visited Dachau, the concentration camp outside of Munich, Germany, and when you leave there, there's a saying by the famous philosopher Spinoza that says, "Those who forget their past are condemned to repeat it." And when we were listening to Mr. King Secretary King doing a great presentation, it reminded me that my experience was a little bit different than his. Mine was more like the reading that we just had. Walking into a classroom and not understanding a single word and being sent home with a little letrero, a little sign, excuse me, that said a name that I never heard. So I got home, and I told my parents said, "Mijito," they saw the sign, "Mijito, ¿quién es Charlie?" "Who's Charlie?" Y yo said, "No sé, mami, pero yo creo que se porta muy mal ese niño, porque la maestra siempre está gritando su nombre y no pone atención." So, pretty soon, my parents figured it out, because the next day I come home crying because I keep telling them that this little kid Charlie's getting me in trouble. And so my parents, think about it. My parents got married when they were 15 and 16 years old. My dad and mom migrated to the United States when they already had 2 kids under the Bracero program. For some weird reason, my older brother, who's a year older than I, myself, we were both born in Chicago, because my parents by then had moved up in the world. They were working in factories. But, just think, they only had a 5th grade education and an 8th grade education. But one thing that my parents did, gracias, that I'll never forget, is that when Charlie came home, the next day they finally went to the school. And my dad really wanted to meet the teacher because he had seen her and he thought she was cute. But what the heck? my mom and dad both went, and they were really concerned. And my dad didn't speak very much English. My mother spoke no English at all, and said, you know, we want to talk to teacher. And the teacher came and the principal came in, and they were very nice. And my father, I'll never forget, we sat down. This is the furthest I can remember anything in my childhood. And because when you get this age, you forget things. But you know, I remember him saying to the teacher and the principal, we're sitting down at a table, and my father said, "Who's Charlie? Teacher, who's Charlie?" And the teacher got up and she patted me on the head and said, "Why, your little boy is Charlie." And my father, I never saw him this mad. He stood up and he said, "No, my son not Charlie. My son is Carlos Arturo García Bustamante Rodríguez de la Fuente de Velar." And I've never been Charlie since. No one has the right to take away our language, our dignity, our culture, and who we are. Nobody who ever runs for president, nobody who ever, we will not go back and forget our past. Our past is what's brought us here, and we will not forget that. We are here to go forward, to make this country not a better country. It already is a great country, but continuing forward. I am honored to get this award, and on behalf of my papi and mami who are passed away, they'd be so proud. Viva Mexico, viva Estados Unidos, and by golly, let's go forward. Thank you.
Felicidades, Carlos, y gracias, Directora General de IME, Eunice Rendón Alarcón. Let's have a round of applause for his outstanding leadership and vision for the students of California.